Welcome to the latest bar video, an 8v8 in glitters as is common, playing as myself, roguelike here. We're going to take a little bit of a different tack today in the views that I use to observe the action. So here we start off with a rover. Now I've been working on this build for a little bit if you've been watching my videos, and usually when I work on the build I don't show them off unless it excites me a bit, but quite often it's not workable, right? You know, like I tried a few different games, it works in 50%, in 50% it just sets you back really far, or you don't have a great time with it. So I'm not necessarily that happy. This build has been phenomenal in how it applies a lot of pressure, as long as the terrain is fairly open, like it is here on the front line in the rainbow position, and you've got plenty of enemies to beat up on. It's a fantastic build during T1, into T2, into scaling, and then into T3. We're not going to show all this, because we're just very effective in the first T1 part. As we can see in the lobby, we've got Ironstorm, we've got, I think I've worked out how to say it, it's Soraya, we've got Rumble, we've got Harm from Inno, and we've got Fantastic Ma. We're looking at Ironstorm here, progressing forward, pushing forward onto these rovers. Some pings come up from Soraya. We have the Shuriken shut this down fairly easily. At the same time, we're pushing forward. As we see a small opening, Soraya's right onto us with the commander. Doesn't degun fast enough, we're going to be able to get away with it and push forward further. The Blitzer's doing a little bit of damage. We come in against these grunts here. We have enough pressure here just to take some casualties, so we're going to retreat. The one Shuriken hassling us. We can fire back at it. Fortunately, that Shuriken goes away. Got two left. We've got a small force of grunts here coming down from Soraya. An earlier push than perhaps we're used to. I was expecting it at 5 minutes, we now see it at a little bit after 4 minutes here. We looked away from 1 little second and our blitz got taken out. We see just overwhelmed by the laser fire. Fortunately our commander is in this position at the moment, coming up towards the middle. There is a tactical reason why I send my commander up here. It's well and truly my lane. These incisors coming across from Harm, our partner in crime, on the front, shutting this down very quickly. We're going to start building turrets. We see the grunts yet again pushing onto us. They have got a better force mix than us. The grunts are a little bit our weakness, but not totally, because we have got a couple of Janus. We're very lucky there. Our Whistler is still alive. Fortunately, Soraya has put these laser turrets forward, so we can basically meet them in this very defensible part of the front. Over here, we do see Lucky Strike pushing forward with the Janus onto set me. Fortunately, the Twin Guard is just a beast at defending against Janus. Rocket bots from Ironstorm being very effective here. Also, we're in this little bit of Badlands trying to poke back at Soraya. Starting to attrit the Guard laser towers. At this time, Harm's coming up with the Wolverines. Soraya's starting to ping on the minimap, feeling the pressure as we come round and flank against these thugs, blowing them into the air. Certainly feeling the pressure of those Wolverines. Ironstorm is getting a counterattack at the moment with these brutes. Pushing up against, it's actually a very effective counterattack on Ironstorm, who's had 650% damage efficiency up till this time. Unfortunately, the brutes overstay their welcome, and we're going to see these become reclaim meat in fairly short order. On our front, we're just continually applying pressure. This Warden is an effective pushback on us, but honestly it's not that much damage, and we can repair our way out of it. Kaboom. All over for Harvard, boy. The pressure from Ironstorm just staggering. Here we're moving down the side to ensure Soraya is not able to basically form a defense line, and Ironstorm can push as needed. We do find this sneaky guard here from Soraya. Set Me has some really good defenses up here. Unfortunately, is getting quite a lot of Wolverine pressure, or Shell Shocker pressure, and we can see the additional construction turret come up to try and survive this from Lucky Strike. Over here, we've grouped up with Ironstorm to continue apply pressure around the flank. But we actually have these rallied forces here, ready to move out now, and in combination with Harm, we're going to push on this base finally, and the Warden by itself will not put up with this. Now, Soraya, distracted by our movements over here, does not see it until the commander starts getting attacked. As a natural response, will attack to our forces, but underestimates perhaps the damage of the two Yanis here and the reach of the Whistlers at the same time. Are we going to get another shot in? Yes, we are. Beautifully sniped, even if I do say so myself. Getting moved against by Fated Duelist. Ironstorm's nice, says U2 OP. Thank you, Ironstorm. But that's the plan of just playing the same build refined again and again and having that level of unit control. It's very important. We join up forces now and we're going to push into our opposing lane, and this is going to force Lucky Strike to stop beating up on Setme and come and move against us. Big battle evolving, one of our Yanis taken down, but we're going to run away and continue to skirmish. See this thug from Fated Duelist up here commanding the heights. And the counter attack over here from Rumble, moving to distract us and fill in this void and force us to move back. We don't mind moving back because our Yanis are able to get last shots off. And this continued attrition from the Wolverines is epic. We've got the laser towers already set up here, and our responding forces will be just in time to stop this attempted run by. Often aggressive play is really weak because you leave these static defences not built, and then you are open to counterattack, and that's a good way to pull you back. But in our case, we've made sure to build enough static defence. Also, we notice Soraya has left the building and Rumble has taken over most of the front here, leaving Lucky Strike and Fated Duelist to continue the fight. Once again, we're pushing forward. We see Rumble here expose the commander. It's going to turn around and attack us. That's not going to work against this unit composition. Taken down in a matter of seconds. I think we can see now, look, we've got over half the team's damage, enemy team's damage at 47.5k. Quite happy with that. Roguelike's moving here to cover against this grunt push. The commander with the laser going to be enough. Getting a little bit close to our blob, but that's okay. We're able to stand off and snipe on this grunt attack. Of course, this was cover for this grave rubber picking up the commander medal, but having to pay very dearly because the grunts are effectively not doing much damage at all to us. A T1 bomber trying a bombing run is going to get shot down by the Whistler AA. Front action never stops as we see Harm taking down Fated Duelists, taking down the rocket bots quite severely. This time we see Fated Duelist build an agitator and is going to control more of this front line, so we're going to push back maybe for a tiny bit and seek some repairs and work on our back line here. We can see we've just built this T2 factory. We've got a whole blob of T1 constructors following our T2. We can see Ironstorm doing a similar method of mechs production. Another counterattack, and over here we see Ironstorm moving forward, so it's our chance once again to be aggressive. Never any pressure, although we do have to move out quite far now and expose ourselves to get to the place where we can provide pressure. Fated Duelist also has the same idea, moving across with the rocket butts, being able to sort of snipe us, but get pushed on by the Yanis. Oh dear, so at this time we're up against T2 unfortunately. This fat boy absolutely annihilates the guts of my forces. Although we have managed to do some damage, it's come at a great expense to the remainder of our forces. At this time, just before the 14-minute mark, we're starting to get the Mausers. This is going to be the next stage of our more effective pressure. So we're going to try and snipe this fat boy. We see the 700 rage on the Fat Boy, however, is quite devastating, and I think the Fat Boy is going to be able to blind launch against us. And yeah, pick on us quite a lot. So we're going to retreat from this whole force coming in to attack us. All these tanks coming in at once. And our artillery is going to turn around and fire. Hound's also creeping back up on us. We do see this push of grunts here from Ironstorm. Going to batten down the forces once more and distract them. So we're going to move forward again. Absolutely epic, coming in from the flank until we meet, of course, with the fat boy. But that's why we got these Mausers, just to stand off and a trip. A little bit worried about Fated Duelist coming around here on the radar screen. But we realise they're not moving that fast, and we're able to instead try and hit them. Now, we can only see these guys on the radar, right? So this is inaccurate fire. I think only 1/3 of projectiles are meant to hit where they actually are, but they seem to be zoned in and taking a huge slice out of this army. Fated Duelist not having the best time of it there. We're able to snipe here this fat boy quite nicely as it's occupied elsewhere. We've got the Quakers on Ironstorm's side, also bombarding on the fat boy using a similar tactic. Honestly, the Mausers are quite a bit better than their Cortex counterpart, the Quaker. Cheaper and faster firing. And we see the resign go up and the vote pass. Now we're going to have a quick look at the statistics here. We see we've done over 100,000 damage, which is as much damage as the enemy team's done. 50% as much damage as the enemy team. Very happy with that. The awards go to I Don't Smile Lordy, which is quite a funny name, and we've got Fantastic Ma on the anti-canyon that must have pushed into canyon quite a bit. And ourselves, we've done quite well. We've got destroyed enemy units' defences and efficient use of resources at the 2.5 level, which tells you that you've been going quite well at 2.5 with what you have. Now, for whatever reason, I don't understand it, but our metal produced is significantly lower than Ironstorm. Maybe doing a better job of scooping up spare metal, because we can see similar sort of bases and wind turbines. The only thing is Ironstorm has gotten somehow these advanced mexes up a bit quicker, so maybe that's the reason why. We've also had a little bit of an issue with power at times, whereas Ironstorm would have had a early reactor. So Ironstorm showing why they're OS 50 with the scaling in the back end, which is something we struggle to match. But otherwise, I was really happy with that. I've done this plenty of times in Noob lobbies and won the game early on. It's the first time where I feel like my build's coming together. There are different tweaks needed, but up to this point, pretty much played as well as I could have hoped to play it. I hope this is a build you can steal from me and use it in lobbies, because it's super effective. Now, there are counters to it. I'm not going to say what they are, but it will change the dynamic of this map slightly. And we can see this graveyard in front of Ironstorm's position. Yeah, what a whooping. Some games can be like that, though. Soraya was just a little bit unlucky there on the front. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that. I just wanted to actually try this new form of videography, if you'd put it, showcasing Bar and the gameplay involved. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments if you did like this change up. I'll continue to do it. Like and subscribe if you can, and see you next video.